Well, I like IPFW's team. They're tough kids. Give them a lot of credit. They never flinched even when we were up 16. They kept playing hard. Made some adjustments at halftime. Forced us to deal with their zone in the second half. We struggled to make shots from the foul line and from the three-point line. That being said, our defense was as good as it could be the last 17 minutes of the game. They didn't make a three in the last 17 minutes. We still got to stop turning the ball over. Got a little frustrated a few times, but overall our effort was tremendous. I don't think we could play much harder. Most disappointing thing would be our free throw shooting. The thing I'm most happy with would be when we struggled on offense, we played harder on defense, which is what you got to do to be a good team as the season goes on. When you have offensive struggles like we did in the second half, you can't hang your head. You got to go to the other end and get the defensive stops, which we can do when we don't turn the basketball over. They had 18 of their points off turnovers.
It looked like they were determined to not let Yancey do the second half we did the first half.
Well, they went to the zone, and even early on in the second half, we got the ball inside against the zone. Then they made some adjustments. Basically, anytime the ball went below the foul line, they had 5 guys below the foul line.
Obviously, you're going to have to shoot better than that because everybody's going to do that unless you can make those shots, right?
Yeah. Yep. Bottom line, that's pretty simple. I mean, they also got to make free throws. You miss. Sean Kilpatrick goes days, weeks without missing a free throw. He's 1 for 3. It's funny, the guy that struggled the most for us in the preseason every day is Rashad Bishop. He's 12 for 12.
And he's done it at the end of games when he needed it.
I'm sending him to shoot technicals early in the game. But he's worked hard at it here in the last week. And he's given us a lot of leadership right now. This was not an easy game. These guys are hard to play because of the way they spread you out on the other end. And I was frustrated that they made some shots early in the game. But they're tough to guard. It's hard to deal with all that stuff that they do on the offensive end. We're not used to that. It doesn't really go on at the high level type of offense.
You said all along that you're not worried about this team's ability to shoot. You still feel that way?
No, what happens in a game like this is they knock in a few shots and they put the pressure on you. And I thought our guys were feeling the pressure too much. Sometimes you can be too wide open. Now you're thinking instead of just shooting the basketball. That definitely happened to us in the second half.
Sean said adrenaline may be the difference between practice and the game is really
There's no doubt it's different in a game, especially for a freshman. It's a lot different.
But he's one of the ones that's making shots.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he had 4 turnovers. That's his adrenaline too. It's tough when the team does that. I think things can be contagious in a game. Games within games that go on. When everybody sees the next guy missing, somebody needs to jump up and knock one in. That's why I was so proud of Rashad to go up there and make free throws because he's watching everybody else go up there and brick. He went up there and knocked them in. Somebody's got to get the lid off the basket. But that being said, you got to be able to keep playing. And I looked up and I think we had 58 points. Couple minutes left to play. I'm not looking at the thing. You're still up 6 or 8 points. It says a lot about the way our guys defended. Our hustle was great. We didn't send them to the line a lot. We got some stuff out of our press, different contributions from different guys.
The other night you were not happy because they didn't keep up the intensity in the second half, but they didn't have a good second half this game either. But you think it's because of the zone? Or
we just didn't make free throws. We didn't make any shots. And we had some turnovers.
Wasn't the same kind of letdown thing?
No, our defense saved us. But you got to hang your hat on your defense and rebound because offense can come and go in different ways depending on who you're playing for different reasons. You got to hang your hat on your defense. That's got to be a constant.
Ibrahima played a lot in the first half, second half. Kind of
struggled defensively. Really struggled defensively with their with all their handoffs, they're 4 out. It's tough for a 6'11" guy to guard at 22 feet all the time. You know, it's just a really tough matchup for him. His size was a factor on the glass, so I wanted to keep him in for that reason. But at the same, when he was struggling from the foul line, the one thing with our team, we get different options. I thought Justin came in and gave us a great burst of energy in the second half when we went to him.
Coach, in the Big East, you mentioned, I think, after last game, there's some teams that play 3, even 4 guards at times. You're going to have Ibrahima and Yancey. If you play at the same time, are they susceptible to being exposed out?
No doubt. That's a give and take, depending on who you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams have gone to playing 6'6" guys and really 2 small forwards instead of 2 big guys. You got to win that battle. You got to be able to still defend it, and then go out rebounding because you're bigger. And I thought Thomas's size was a big factor in this. Obviously, would he have 4 offensive rebounds, and maybe every basket he had was off an offensive rebound.
Have these been 2 good games to start with for you?
Well, we'll get a lot out of today because you had to be locked in and focused today to play against these guys. They got a lot of veterans on that team. They're extremely well coached, and when a team can shoot the basketball the way they do, you got to be focused. It's like Justin Jackson. He understands now. In the first half, he got in and gave up a couple baskets right away. Against a team like this, if you're out of position, they exploit you immediately. They find the open man. You look the wrong way, they cut for a layup. They're tough to guard the way they stretch you out. So we definitely got a lot out of today. I thought our effort was much better today. The first half you can't play much better offensively other than our turnovers.
It seemed like some of maybe your most frustrating moments in the second half were not getting the tempo push from the other end.
That had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
You got to give them credit for that. It's hard for us to press quite as much with Thomas in the game. We're a bigger team. It's hard for us to put the kind of pressure on, that we can with Justin and Darnell.
Did you feel like you guys had a good enough transition game off of some of their missed shots to push enough, or was that not quite
Yeah,
there?
they did a pretty good job of getting back. They did a pretty good job. They understood what they had. At halftime, it's very obvious. They decided to go back, pack it in, and make us make some shots, which I think was a really smart decision.
Guy who struggled the first game was Cash. Came out, bounced back early in the first half. It's kind of nice to see him bounce back.
He played really well in the first half. One thing he's got to do a better job of is his shot preparation off the ball. He's got to be thinking shot out there in his own offense when he does not have the ball. Step in there and knock shots in. He's one of our better shooters. And maybe he played a little too many minutes. I don't know if he got tired, but he's got to do a better job with his footwork. We got to get him thinking shot and get him in a rhythm from behind that line. Teams are going to pack it in the way they did. I'm sure we're going to see zone again Monday night.
For the most part, are you happy with what you see in these 2 games?
Yeah, our effort's tremendous. I thought the guys prepared. We had 3 great days of practice, and we let them back in the game. When you really struggle the way we did offensively in the second half, a lot of times you lose a game like that. But, we didn't give them a 3-point shot, like I said, in the last 17 minutes. So our guys did what we had to do on the defensive end. We didn't let poor offense affect our defensive energy. In fact, like I said earlier, we played hard, which is what you got to do when you struggle on offense. You got to step. You just got to go win with defense. You're gonna win different ways, different nights.
How important is it to find one of the perimeter guys that can become a reliable when the scoring drought hits? Everybody goes through it.
That'd be great. I'm all for that. Somebody does that. I love to that'd be great.
But is there any focus on trying to have one guy step into that role, or is it by committee like you talked about?
I think I'd like all of them to make open shots. Let's be honest. We got some guys in different type of roles this year, and it's going to take some time, building Kashmir Wright's confidence up. I thought Deion Dixon played well in the first half. They only had 1 field goal between them in the second half. When they, just like the other night, when those 2 guys struggle offensively, is a common denominator for us. In the second half, they had 1 basket between them. In the first half, they had 6 baskets. Yancey, because you can take a big guy away, because you can just pack it in.
I guess he said he's not concerned that teams will do that and dare you to shoot because he sees he's got to make so many open shots in practice. You feel that same confidence?
Yeah, we haven't struggled to shoot the ball at all. We went to Canada. Everybody gotta hope it's one game and keep firing, make sure that we're working on small things. You know, the shooting isn't just luck. A lot of it's shot preparation. You know, and one thing about Cashmere, right, that I do know, he is a very good shooter, but he's got to do a better job with his footwork. He has a tendency to stand flat-footed when he doesn't have the ball, instead of stepping in towards the line into his shot. And you know, I would say he's a candidate for a guy that, for us, needs to be a guy who averages double figures.
Are there other guys that you've noticed that you have mechanical problems with their shots, or does it just have bad range?
Well, no, Jaquan Parker's the guy that makes him off toughness. You know, right now he's short on everything, so we got to take a look at what he's doing. He's short on everything. You know, for the most part, you know, we shoot the ball as much as you can possibly shoot the ball. So we'll see. Just one game.
I would think you might be a little concerned about the free throw shooting.
Well, yeah, I told you, my biggest concern in this game is that's disappointing because, like I said, we've done a great job in practice and all fall shooting free throws. The guys have really been locked in. That's something we made a commitment to as a team. And if you're struggling, you have to shoot extra after practice. If you struggle in that practice, and that's Rashad was the guy struggling the most. So he had the most extra shooting the week leading up to our opening game. And now he's low for full health. So, you know, it's like baseball. You know, he's not going to bat 1,000. Somebody else not going to bat 150. It'll shake out over the season. So you got to keep doing it. We're not going to have a great year if we go 3 for 17. But
Was that your most surprising thing, those 2 games? You didn't shoot that well first.
it's disappointing. Yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. You know, one thing I told the guys, we can't put pressure on ourselves. You know, you can't put pressure on yourself. We just got to go out and play hard. You know, we can't be what other people want us to be. We can control our effort, our attitude, our focus, and our execution. That's all we can control. And that's going to be what we focus on all year. You can't put. You win one game, it's not going to make you 4-0. You got to win them one at a time. And if you lose one, you got to make sure you get better and don't lose the next one. It's a long year of college basketball, so you know that's my big thing with my guys. You know, we got some younger guys that are in different roles. I don't want to press it too much. That's a concern.
But you got a couple older guys that have been through this. This is their 4th year. That's got to help them.
Yeah, well, Rashad's big with that. He's really big with that. He's really giving us leadership right now. He's been focused. And you can see late in the game, little things that he does. You know, he's a valuable guy in that regard. Because he's in the same role he's been in. And so he's going to be a lot more comfortable. He's played more minutes than anybody on our team.
He just doesn't have to play 4 different positions. He can settle in it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.